Hello to all my beautiful friends out there. How are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, Ria Maria. Very happy to see you all. I have a new topic for you today, and that is bronzers and contours. I know everyone tends to be a little confused regarding bronzers and contours, and don't worry about it, I've got you covered. I've been there and I know exactly how you feel towards those stuff. I've been always searching for the best contour slash bronzing palette for all my life. So today I decided to do this video where I can tell you a little more about the good ones, about the ones that worked for me, for my skin tone. It was 6 years ago and maybe 7, I'm not sure. It's been quite a while when Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with her contour slash bronzing palette that came in 6 pans, 3 highlighters and 3 contour and bronzing shades. So I got very excited, and I remember back at the time that was my wish list. That was everything I wanted to try on and play with it, explore with it, because back then, like 6-7 years ago, this bronze and contour was all new to this makeup industry, and we didn't know how to bronze and how to contour. It was something that was recently discovered back then, and I didn't know how to use, how to do, and this is the palette I'm telling you about. Don't mind, this palette is old. It's 7 years old, maybe 6, I'm not sure. So you can see my fingerprints on it, you can see some powder on it. It's a hot mess, let me tell you. This is the contour kit by Anastasia. Who remembers this beauty, guys? Do you remember this? Let me open it up. Maybe you do. It doesn't come with a mirror, unfortunately, and that's what I don't like about my palettes. When I open them up, at least include a mirror in there. But this is how it looks like. It comes in 6 pans. 3 of them are highlights and 3 bronzing shades, or maybe contour shades. I was very surprised the other day when I saw that this palette still exists on Sephora's website, and it is being retailed for, it is being sold for $40, and it comes only in 1 shade. It is the light to medium. I remember back in time it used to come in 2 shades, light to medium and medium to deep skin tone, but nowadays it's only light to medium, which is the one I have here. This is the one. This palette has been worn quite much, and back then we didn't have much of bronze slash contour varieties, so I guess back in the time it was good, but I wasn't a big fan of the highlighters here because I didn't see the glow, you know, like no glow to it. This one was very powdery and harsh. Can you see? It's like it has a texture. I don't know what's the deal, but I don't know, I don't like it. I was a fan of the banana because it was very smooth, very buttery, and you can tell. There's another shade. I wasn't sure if these were highlights, but maybe those were setting powders more than a highlight, because these 2 shades actually work. This has a pinky tone. This is the banana shade. This is universal nowadays, everyone loves it. And let me show you the pinky tone one here next to these. As for the bronzers, I used to mix. The one in the middle was so grayish. It was very cool tone gray. See how this shade here wasn't for me, wasn't for my skin shade. It was so gray, so dull, and it had no warmth to it. What I did was I took my brush and went through the 3 shades all together, then blended. One was very cool, the other one was very orange, and this one was very dark. So I remember none worked. Therefore, I used to take my brush on the 3 shades, the 3 pans all together, and then wear them on. You can tell here on my fingers. Overall, overall it wasn't bad, but as soon as another brand put another palette out, I was very excited to run and give it a try, because this one wasn't enough for me. I don't know if you remember this, but Laura Mercier came out with her own bronzing and highlight palette. It was during the holiday season. I was very excited to give it a try, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Laura Mercier palette that came out right after that. This is a discontinued palette because this came during the holiday season. It was very famous. This palette has been for maybe 4 years. It's not as old as the Anastasia one, but this is again like 4 years old, maybe 5. I'm not sure when this came out, but I'm sure you remember this packaging back then. People raved about, people went nuts about this animal print stuff that's going on here on the palette. And let me show you from the inside, and it came with a mirror, yay! And you get here 3 shades. One is a baked blush, which is this one here, and this one was the contour, baked contour, and baked highlighter, and of course the brush, which I didn't use much. I know this palette has been discontinued because this was a limited edition holiday season palette, but I saw these being sold separately at Sephora. Let me tell you how much they're being retailed for. The Candle Glow highlighter, so it is sheer perfecting powder for $38, 0.3 ounces on Sephora's website, and it is called the Candle Glow, okay? As for the bronzer, it comes in 4 shades, $42 for the bronzer, and they are sold separately. And as for the blush, which I didn't like the blush, it tends to be dark on my skin tone. So anyway, it is very warm, let me tell you, and it has pink shimmer in it. I will swatch it now in a minute, and it is 5 stars rated. It retails for $42. You can find these separately on Sephora's website. But as for the whole palette, which I got during the holiday season, this is no more. It's discontinued. So let me swatch these for you. This is the Candle Glow. Let's start with the highlight. This is the Candle Glow. Wow, that is very nice. It is blinding. And let me swatch the bronze next to it. Those are all baked shades. You need to like build them up. That is the contour. And lastly, ooh, this blush, you guys, it's like, I don't know. Check this blush. Check this blush. Very dark, very warm. I know it says it has pink shimmer in it, but you can tell here. In the pan, it has a pink shimmer, but on the face or on the hand, all what you get is just this pinkish bronzer, very warm. Those are the shades here swatched for you. I think between this and this did better. I used this quite much. I enjoyed the highlighter on this one, and you can tell on the back of my hand, the highlighter is like a bam, I'm here. Do you see me? Let me blind you. To me, I think this was much better than this one. The third palette that I made the switch to, I started with Anastasia 7 years ago. Then 4 years ago, I switched to Laura Mercier, and I was a big fan. And then I switched to Kat Von D. Woo! Do you remember this, you guys? Shade and Light. Oh my gosh, don't tell me you don't know this. This was very famous, very popular. People went nuts about this palette. And let me show you, it comes in 6 pans. You can tell I hit pan on this one, the banana shade. and this was so natural. The shades were very, very nice, buttery, smooth, blendable. This palette is a refill palette, like whenever one of the pan run out, you can always replace the pan. When this palette came out, it was ready to go, ready to be purchased with all its 6 pans. Nowadays, I don't know why Kat Von D did the switch. The palette is being sold empty for $11. If you check Sephora's website, you would see this palette all empty pans for $11. It comes with the mirror. As for the pans, you fill it in with your own shades. You customize it depending on your skin tone, skin shade. You can customize it, and each pan is being retailed for $14 to $16. This is the deal. Since the bronzer pan is bigger, so she's selling them for $16. And the highlights, because they are small pans, she's retailing them for $14. So the bronzers are more expensive because they are bigger, and the highlighters are smaller pans. That's why they're cheaper, so they're for $14. And you guys, the good thing is that you don't need to grab the palette as it is. You get to choose your own shades and put them and customize them in your own palette, which is $11. But back in the time, I bought this for not less than $56. That's how I remember. Like, I've used this quite much, and it was my hit, my to-go palette. And because of the mirror, like, it's a multitasker. I used to set my foundation or touch up my foundation with this banana shade. That's why I hit pan on this. And then I used to mix these 2 shades because this one is more grayish. So I used to mix these 2 with my brush and then blend them onto my face. This wasn't used much because it is dark for my skin shade. And you can, like, you can see here, let me swatch it. Oh, wow, this is way too dark. This was my favorite, and till this day, this is my favorite. I love it so much. This is the Shade and Light Contour Palette by Kat Von D, my favorite. I feel like I'm telling you the history of bronzers and contours and highlights. So, but basically it is a history because we've started with the 7-year-old palette, and now we're moving on to the 2-year-old palette. And that one was by Jouer Cosmetics. They are very good, blendable. She has a beautiful variety of eyeshadows, lippies, powders, everything, highlighters. Jouer is something that I've used, but not in bronze/contour. I've used the lippies, the glosses. I have a palette of eyeshadows from Jouer, and I was a big fan. So when she put out this palette, I was very, very excited to grab my hands on this palette. This is a 2-year-old, and this is of a duo palette. We're not talking about 6 pans, 3 pans. We're saying only 2 pans, Sunlight and Suntan. It comes in this beautiful palette. Let me show you. Pink and gold. How beautiful is this? Let me swatch it for you. I used to dab the brush in both of them and then apply it onto my face. Those are the colors. I don't know if you can tell because I already have a million of swatch. Let me see if I can do it here. Here, these 2. Can you tell, guys? It's very natural. Like, I don't think you can tell where the swatch is because these shades are so natural. Very nice, especially daytime, whenever you don't want that heavy look makeup. It's like no makeup look. You go with this. Moving on, because I want to hit the spot. I want to move on so I can show you what's my favorite. Last year, I've heard a good hype about Charlotte Tilbury's Duo palette. Again, highlighter and bronzer. And so I made the purchase. And this is the one I'm talking about. Again, Charlotte Tilbury Rose Gold. And this is the Film Star Bronze and Glow Face Sculpt and Highlight. Fair medium, that's the one I have. It comes in medium to deep, but this is the one I've got in fair to medium. Let me swatch it. So the highlight is BAM, you guys. Check this out. It's beautiful. The highlight on this one is beautiful. Now let me swatch the other bronzer here. Let's see if it's going to show, because this is buildable. This is something very, very natural. I don't know if you can tell it's here, but I'm not sure if it shows. This is again for daytime look. It's ideal. I love it so much. The highlighter though, it's beautiful, guys. It adds that beam, that glow. It's like wet glow. By the way, if you wanna splurge your money on something very good in makeup, make sure you grab Charlotte Tilbury's line, because her makeup line is ideal, is beautiful, is blendable, is smooth. It is expensive, but it's worth every penny. I've tried quite a bit of her makeup line, and let me tell you, no regrets. No regrets. Everything I tried, I was shocked how good it performs. Pigmented, it's long wear, it's natural looking, it's blendable. Her makeup line is amazing, you guys. Yes, it is expensive, but like I said, it's so worth it. I mean, Charlotte Tilbury, hello. Last but not least for today, this video again, it's been forever, but I promise that's it. This is the last palette. This is my finalized one. I'm sure I'm not going to purchase another highlight or bronzing palette for another 10 years. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, Kim K. West Beauty. Do you see it? Let me open it for you. Woo! Check that mirror, and look at those shades. One of a kind. My favorite palette. I can shout out to this. I purchased another one during her Memorial Weekend sale because I love it so much, you guys. I have a full review on this palette where I'm wearing it, blending it, showing you, I'm filming it, I'm talking about this. I will link down below the video where you can watch the full review on this palette. KKW Beauty. She nailed it. I love this palette. Love this palette. But let me tell you, I do blend these two shades together on the brush, and then I blend it in. This is the one I'm wearing today, and that's the highlight I have on the cheeks. I used it for the brow bone here. I use it as a highlighter. Sometimes I use it as an eyeshadow on my eye to highlight the lid. I'm wearing it on the inner corners of the eyes today, just to brighten up the inner corner of my eyes. I have the bronzer on, and it's very natural with all my lighting here. I mean, I wish you can see how many lights I have here all around me, and look how natural it looks. It is very blendable. Those feel very smooth, very buttery like. Don't miss out on KK West, this palette. Whenever this goes on sale, I will link it on my Instagram account one more time for you whenever I see this palette on sale, because it is expensive. It comes with a brush. With a brush, it's like $54. Without the brush, it is for $44 or $46. But it's so worth it, guys, so worth it. You get 4 shades in here, 2 highlights, 2 bronzer and contour. Very natural, very blendable. And go watch the full review on my channel. I have a full complete video talking about only this palette on my video. You can go explore it yourself. So this is it. I highly recommend this. Like, if you ask me which one, this is my favorite. And I don't think I'm gonna go grab another contour slash highlight palette. I'm not doing it. I'm satisfied. I love this. This is my favorite. I use this for the face, eyes, for the lids, and I love it so much. Those were my thoughts about the history of bronzer slash highlighters. I hope it was a good review for you. I mean, we all start with something, and then little by little we get the knowledge. We know which one is good, which one is not, which one to wear, which one to avoid, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you find today's video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time. Another video, another content. I always have something new for you all out there. Stay safe. See you all next time. Bye for today.